Hey guys, it's Got Bars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 350th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So I don't typically cover two projects from one artist in this small of a time frame, as I last discussed hip-hop super duo Outkast hardly 20 uploads ago, in my previous set of 2000s classics when I covered their commercial peak, 2003's Speaker Box The Love Below, and I'll leave a link for that review in the description below, because in it I explain why I hadn't yet gotten around to covering Big Boy and Andre 3000's revolutionary debut, 1994's Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music here, which, to make a long story short, was more or less due to these guys having other projects I preferred and felt more necessary to discuss first. I'll also link my other Outkast related videos, which include reviews for 1996's ATLiens, 1998's Aquemini, and 2000's Stankonia. But this will probably be my last one for the foreseeable future, because after tackling this game-changing debut, the only LP from these guys left will be Idlewild, which is pretty much universally agreed upon as their worst, and to be honest, it isn't exactly a vinyl I'm keeping an eye out for. It's kind of funny that I was so recently talking about their second to last album, which sort of marked the beginning of the downfall and showed the cracks forming inside the duo. But then here we're winding the clock back nearly a full decade, and instead focusing on the formation and early days of Big Boy and Three Stacks. Sonically and personality-wise, Southern Playalistic seems like a lifetime away from their later output. However, because they were so young at the time of Outkast's formation, you can hear a pretty vast difference between this 1994 debut and the extremely adventurous and otherworldly ATLiens, which, despite coming out 2 years after the first album and 2 years before Aquemini, ends up being a much closer experience to the latter, even though the time difference between all three LPs is the same. While this breakout release is definitely a fan favorite that I've even seen certain people maintain as their best, I think it still has a bit of a tendency to get overlooked by casual listeners, most likely because it doesn't have those conceptual and innovative themes the following projects would utilize. But in a weird way, I almost feel like that works toward its benefit in retrospect, because the result ends up being the rawest and most gritty project in their discography, where you get to hear Big Boy and 3K in their natural environment, and sonically this thing kinda set the stage for their Dungeon Family counterparts Goody Mob to take the rap world by storm the following year in 1995, with their similarly grimy and Dirty South influenced debut Soul Food. However, while the members of Outkast were fresh out of high school at this point, in fact I think they may have even still been in it, they were already lyrically leagues ahead of their peers. I mean, absolutely no one was rapping the way these dudes were in 1994, regardless of where you hailed from, and part of that is due to Big Boy's hard-to-replicate, inhuman flow, which was already in full effect. But just as essential were Andre's clever, thought-provoking, and meticulously structured bars. And together they would hone their styles and continue to polish them until they became such an absolute powerhouse that they're pretty much universally acknowledged as the best duo to ever do it. And unlike with best rapper or group, there's usually not even that much pushback around that statement, and that's no disrespect to Mobb Deep, Clips, Gangstar, UGK, or any other iconic group of two that contributed to the genre. I have to share at least some of the highly impressive lines that show up on Southern Playalistic, especially since I didn't really have any Three Stacks verses to delve into with the previous review, so I want to remedy that here through his killer opening set of rhymes on the track called "The Wild," which he kicks off rapping, "I'll be coming around the ghetto when I come kicking one for the treble. Y'all can't stoop to my level, I'm like the devil or whatever. I'm picking 'em up and throwing 'em down like dishes. Call me Kenny Anderson, cause I slam the sons of bitches. I ain't bragging, folks dragging me up and down the road. They'll be fucked up when I gets into my clownin' mode. Then cut the clown up on they ass like Bozo, oh no, then dance on top of they ashes like JoJo Dancer. Come Comet, come Dasher, come Prancer, come rappers with machine guns, I think that is the answer. But the question, should we take that bullshit from them people? I'm making 300 on my SAT, yet I am equal. Ain't no sequel, no saga, no way out. I'm nervous, I've had it up to forehead of suckers trying to serve us. To graduate is really becoming a stressful journey. I feel like a steering wheel for them is trying to turn me into a hate monger, and I'm wishing and I wonder, damn, will I graduate before I hit the summer? I think not. Officer Friendly trying to dig up in me. He said I'm half-assed and got no future, so he sent me up the creek and shit, stroking like hell without no paddle. But brothers is getting smart, we back on the saddle. No longer, y'all know y'all had us down for some years. It's the call of the wild, homie, there it is. It's only fair I display Big Boy's top tier pen on this track as well, which he makes use of right from the first line. Rapping, yeah, I'm steady bucking, motherfuckers not ducking them like duck goose, I'm heavily strapped. Yeah, people squeezing rhymes like that noose around your neck, you can't hang with this. See, ain't no things to this. I show no pity, so take off because I's dangerous. I break some off like I was Beach Street, see? I be breaking. Speaking of breaking, break on out or get your life taken, boy. Fucking around with me'll get your cabbage cut, your wig split. Simply means I'm bringing the funk with the hollow tips. Player shit is how I'm kicking it, coming around the ghetto. Victim soft as attack on a jackass. So fuck it or flip it, I'll still be a player. Puffy afro with black man naps off in my hair, shit. That's simply how I run my shit and that's how it be. That brother B-I-G-B-O-I, that being me. Yeek. See, I'm a player, got my struggle on, thinking about the volume and the thickness of my bankroll. You see, the cops is in my shit like colon cancer. Even though I never smoked that shit like, yeah. I give a call of the wild to my homies around the projects. So don't flex or get served with a popped neck. Shit, OG, original gangster, not quite, but maybe when I'm locked up, lifting weights, getting swole, right? Life's a bitch with a G-string. It's either in your ass or it ain't, so you can see who can really hang. But y'all don't want to do nothing, y'all can go to hells. Ain't no players in office cause I'm locked off in a cell. So can you feel me? Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music is pretty much a full-fledged Dungeon family affair, as not only is the entire LP produced by the legendary production outfit Organized Noise, but we also only get one featured artist, and that comes in the form of the aforementioned Goody Mob, who pop up on 2 separate tracks here. When it comes to my overall favorites on this one, as packed as this track list is, I narrowed my top 3 down to Players Ball, Get Up, Get Out, and the title track. As for my honorable mentions, barring Call of the Wild, I have to shout out songs like My Intro to Let You Know, Ain't No Thing, Plain and True, Hootie Hoo, Funky Ride, Crumbling Herb, DEEP, and Players Ball Reprise. Thank you for watching my 350th video. Next up, we have a super talented New York MC who's never been on the page before, so check in for that. And if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what moments you remember the most fondly off this iconic debut. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.